More and more mothers and grandmothers are doing a terrific job bringing up kids. But 1 in every 3 American children don't have their fathers at home. And even when they do, many fathers today feel that society is undermining them. So tonight we look at 2 very different programs to make you a better dad.
Collaborating takes skill.
Curtis came to this fathering seminar in Butler Township to break an awful family tradition.
Substance abuse led to crimes.
And Curtis spent most of his son's life in prison, just as his father had.
What kind of relationship did you have with your father, Curtis?
Yeah, not really. He was incarcerated too, and my grandparents raised me.
And now it's Curtis's own son who's incarcerated, which is why Curtis came here.
Sometimes you gotta grow up and take responsibilities.
The Ridge Project was started by a father who himself had been incarcerated, just like project coordinator Kevin Sheehy.
There's no father in my home at all.
But now Kevin has his wife Michelle, and together they're reaching out to couples like Curtis and Stacy, a mom forced to raise their son alone.
Why is it important to have a father in the home?
The kids lose out on having that other person in their life.
It's not just prison, putting bars between fathers and children. For decades, welfare payments were conditioned on there being, quote, no man in the house, which critics say encouraged men to neglect their families. More recently, a White House website called The Life of Julia showed how mothers and other women could rely on the government for cradle-to-grave benefits.
Well, I understand, what's politically correct, but from statistically wise, it shows over and over and over that a child that does not have a positive role model, more importantly their father, has adverse effects.
And not only low-income children, here at Xenia Christian School, fathers gather every month to see how they can become better dads in a society that's not always supportive. Jimmy Rhodes recalls,
when I was growing up, you had Leave It to Beaver, and you had My Three Sons, you had Cosby, you had all these family-oriented shows that had dads. They all had dads. And then watching TV go downhill and become nasty towards fathers, it just didn't make sense to keep watching that and subjecting my children to a culture that I don't believe in.
But these guys know they can't just blame society, so in their meetings, they hold each other accountable. Brad Riddle admits,
yeah, I have lost my temper. I've said things and done things I shouldn't. But, to sit next to my 9-year-old son and ask him to forgive me for losing my temper, and asking my wife to forgive me and that's, I think, what a godly father is supposed to do.
to read the Ridge Project's key advice for all dads, rich and poor, go to fox45now.com. And if your school or place of worship does not have a fathers group, you might want to start one.